Oleksandr Usyk has made it clear he wants to fight Deontay Wilder next. In a recent interview with Boxing King Media, this is what Usyk had to say.
I won't fight with Deontay Wilder. For me, I think it's interesting.
Why Deontay Wilder? Because people are saying maybe he's not as good as he was.
This is world champion guy. This is very famous guy. This is strong guy. But it's Odin is one of his great heavyweight last 10 years.
Look, I understand why Usyk wants to fight Deontay Wilder. Usyk right now holds the keys to the heavyweight division. Usyk is controlling the division. He's doing what he wants, and some would argue that he's earned the right to do so. And I understand exactly why Usyk wants to fight someone like Deontay Wilder. And I think Usyk is right now taking fights that will add to his legacy, rather than fights that don't mean anything to him at this stage of his career. Usyk has vacated the WBO belt. Fabio Wardley has now become WBO world champion. Usyk said it in this interview.
If win Parker, for me it's interesting. Win Wardley, for me not interesting. I say it's true. Okay, give you belt, boxing. Maybe later we fight together, like a big fight. For it's only my mind.
That the Fabio Wardley fight does not seem interesting to him. If Joseph Parker would have won that fight, then he will be open to taking Joseph Parker on. So it is clear that Usyk wants to take the big fight, be in big money fights as he heads towards the end of his career. Look, if Fabio Wardley has been a big name for the last 5 years and was fighting at top level and was, bringing in a lot of fans, then I think Usyk would entertain that fight, because once again, it goes down to the risk-reward sort of thing here. But Deontay Wilder is always a big name in boxing, because Deontay Wilder is or has been a long-standing heavyweight champion, the WBC champion, and Deontay Wilder had a big following. So I do understand why Usyk wants to fight Deontay Wilder. And also, Deontay Wilder is probably the only long-standing champion in Usyk's era that Oleksandr Usyk has not fought yet. So Usyk has beaten Tyson Fury twice, Anthony Joshua twice, Daniel Dubois twice, and now he wants to add Deontay Wilder to that list. And look, I think this is a massive mismatch. Like, Oleksandr Usyk versus Deontay Wilder right now is such a big mismatch that is a dangerous fight for Deontay Wilder. Maybe a few years ago, maybe that Deontay Wilder that fought Tyson Fury for the first time, maybe that fight would have been competitive. I think Usyk, at any time in his career, and Deontay Wilder at any time in his career, Usyk has been better than Deontay Wilder all the time. And this fight, as I said, would have been competitive a few years ago or some years ago. But right now, as we sit here, as we're speaking right now, Deontay Wilder is not in the same space as Oleksandr Usyk. And I can only see one result in this fight, and that is an absolutely devastating KO to Oleksandr Usyk. Usyk is going to absolutely obliterate Deontay Wilder. Deontay Wilder is not the same fighter he was a few years ago. Now look, Deontay Wilder has not been the most technically sound boxer we've ever seen. Wilder has his deficiencies, but Wilder has his advantages, and that is speed and able to land a big right hand. And Wilder was a perfectionist at landing that right hand. But when that is taken away from Deontay Wilder is not the same fighter. And when you're fighting a guy like Oleksandr Usyk, as sophisticated, as highly skilled as he is, a right hand which is gone, speed which is gone, no footwork, no head movement, is a recipe for disaster. And Deontay Wilder right now will be a sitting duck to Oleksandr Usyk. It will be target practice. Usyk cannot miss. And by the way, Usyk is also not the fighter that he used to be a few years ago, right? His footwork is still there, but the speed is not the same. He's nearly 40, right? But what he's been able to do is that he's been able to maintain a higher skill set. He's fought at the highest level. He lives and breathes as a fighter. He behaves like a champion. Outside of the ring, Usyk behaves like a fighter. And that has always stand him in good stead, because then his body has grown with him as a fighter and he knows how to use his body. And by the way, Usyk is now a full-fledged heavyweight. Right? When he came into the division, he was still trying to get used to the weight. Now Usyk is a full-fledged, bona fide heavyweight. And we saw exactly how he dismantled Daniel Dubois at Wembley. So look, Usyk versus Deontay Wilder is a mismatch. There's only one ending to this fight, and it doesn't end for Deontay Wilder. Now, would you give Deontay Wilder a fair chance in this fight? A puncher's chance? Absolutely. Because the last thing that leaves a fighter is their power. So Deontay Wilder somehow would be able to land some big shots. But there's a difference between landing a big shot on Tyrell Herndon to landing a big shot on Oleksandr Usyk. The difference is night and day. Deontay Wilder in his last 6 fights has only won 2, right? He got absolutely obliterated by Tyson Fury in the 3rd fight. And then he fought Robert Helenius. He got the win and he looked good. And a lot of people thought that Deontay Wilder was back. And then he fought Joseph Parker. Now Joseph Parker dominated Deontay Wilder from round 1 to round 12. I don't think Wilder won 1 round in that fight. I think Wilder was soundly beaten by the better fighter in Joseph Parker. And then the Zhilei Zhang fight. He got outboxed, he got outclassed by the hard-hitting Zhilei Zhang, the southpaw, and he got absolutely obliterated and splattered all over the ring. Deontay Wilder is not the same. And then the last time we saw Deontay Wilder was against Tyrell Herndon in a fight where he did not look good. He looked gun-shy, he looked like he did not want to let the right hand go, and Deontay Wilder just looked out of ideas. He's not the same guy. And it took him a very long time to stop Herndon in that fight. And Tyrell Herndon is not even British level. Let's put it that way. Tyrell Herndon is not a very good fighter. Respect to him. He's a fighter. He gets in the ring, and credit to him. But he's not a top fighter. So Deontay Wilder, in the last 6 fights, hasn't had any convincing fight or convincing result to think that he could compete with Oleksandr Usyk right now. And as I said, I understand that Usyk is being strategic. He wants names on his record where after he retires, we can sit back and go, Usyk beat Tyson Fury, he beat Anthony Joshua, he beat Daniel Dubois, he beat Deontay Wilder, he beat Derek Chisora. It looks good on his resume, but this fight is probably 7 years late, and it does not favour Deontay Wilder at all, because the gap between both fighters is massive, and the scale is not comparable at all. So you guys get in the comment section and let me know what you think about Oleksandr Usyk saying that he wants to fight Deontay Wilder next, but also explained that the reason why he vacated the WBO belt is because Fabio Wardley fight does not sound interesting as the Joseph Parker fight. Get in the comment section and let me know what you think about the things I have discussed in this video. My name is Bright. This is the Bright Show Podcast Boxing. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you guys on the next one.